Good morning, everyone. It is day 30 of going all in on day trading until I am profitable. And today it is the start of a new week. Monday, I've got another week left of my school holidays, which is pretty good. And for those of you who don't know, my funded account, Express account, is sat at minus 200. So, just a short recap of last week. We passed the funded on Monday. We won Tuesday. We won Wednesday, which weren't recorded. Tuesday was recorded, but the files got broken. And then Wednesday, I didn't even expect to trade, so I had no recordings from that. And then we won those two. And then Thursday, we took a loss. Friday, took a loss. Unfortunately, the risk management was pretty poor on Thursday, well, the whole week, because with risk management, the kind of idea of risk management is you use the same risk for every trade. But on Monday's trade, I used $100 of risk, made 200. Tuesday was even worse because I ended up risking 200, but then I went for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. When a 1-to-2 would have hit fine, I just got excited when I saw my profit target get hit, which is 200, by the way. The requirements to get a payout with Top Step is you have to have 5 winning days of at least 200. So I just got a bit giddy on Tuesday and just didn't even acknowledge. It wasn't like I was sat there going, oh, we're at a 1-to-1, I need a 1-to-2. It was literally like I didn't even think about the fact we were only at a 1-to-1. And then Wednesday, I upped the risk to 400. No, Thursday, I upped the risk to 400 risk. Fucking lost that trade, so now we went to break even. And then Friday, which was a very... Thursday could have been argued to be an avoidable day. I don't think so, but other people look at it and go, yeah, that was avoidable. I don't think it was. It could have been, though. It well could have been. I was trading into a big imbalance created by the tariffs getting paused. But Friday was an annoying one because it was such a nice trade, apart from my stop loss was way too wide, if that makes sense. I should have had a tighter stop loss. I know that I shouldn't be putting stop losses that big. I just prefer going for little trades that take... I found this is my ideal range of trading. 3 minutes to 20 minutes. And an interesting perspective I got, and I don't listen to many perspectives, but you guys saw from Friday's video, I was camping with my friend, and he's into trading as well. Not as much as he used to be, but he's into trading. And an interesting perspective was that why would you stay in a trade for like an hour, 2 hours, even like the 40 minutes I was in a trade? Because by the time you're in a trade for 40 minutes, there's so many like breaks of structures happening to the downside and like reversals happening and all these like different things forming which are going to push price down. It's like, why wouldn't you just rather be in there for 20 minutes? Now, like I said, it's a good perspective, and there's not a lot of perspectives I actually like want to consume, but I thought that was a pretty reasonable one. But my argument to that point would be, like, for the trade on Friday, yes, there were like inverse fair value gaps to the downside, there were breaks of structures to the downside, but I'm still looking at like the higher time frame and the fact that on the 1 hour we have just swept London lows, and the only logical place on the 1 hour and 15 minute is to go to London highs. And that ended up playing out. I just narrowly got stopped out, but it's alright. You know, I'm still learning. I've only been doing this for 7 months. If I was making fuck-ups like that after 2 years, then it would be like, right, let's throw the towel in, let's fucking give up on this shit. But I'm still learning, and I still love to do it, so I have no problem in constantly failing when I love doing it. You know, the man who loves the... What is it? What's the phrase? The man that loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. So, you know, you can't pretend to love walking. But we'll continue talking about that. I'm going to do some stretching now, and then we'll get to pre-market analysis after that. Going back to the point of the man who loves to walk will walk further than the man who loves the destination. A lot of motherfuckers do not love the walking. A lot of motherfuckers. And I see this in the Discord server quite a lot. By the way, if you want to join the server and actually get use out of it, unlike the people I'm about to talk about, join it, link in the description, but first, subscribe. But yeah, the people in the Discord, some of them, and these guys are going to know who they are when I talk about them. Some of them have all the excuses in the world, and you can just look at them, and like, I haven't even made it in trading, but I can look at them and know they're not even going to get to the point I'm at, which is a pretty not easy point to get to, but I would say if, and I know that this might be a stupid analogy, but you see those things I see them on Instagram, it's like how like the percentages drop off over time, and it's like starts at 100% of people and they're all like, yeah, we're going to make it in trading, and then it goes down to like 50%, and it's like, oh, I've taken a bit of a loss, and then it goes down to like 10%, and then I would say if 1% of people make it in trading, I'm probably in like, from where I've started, and this is kind of true because I've seen a load of other people at the start of the school year try trading. I'm probably in the last like 3%, I would say. 3 to 5% of people who keep trying. And if we're saying that 1% is the kind of profitability, because I've seen like, let's just say, I've seen like 100 motherfuckers try trading. I'm just saying that as an example. It's probably not exactly 100. And fucking 98 of them drop off. So it's like, but anyway, but back to my original point. Like, these people, they'll make all the excuses in the world as to why they can't do this, they can't backtest, I can't understand this concept. Well, you're not even trying to understand the concept. Like, you're not even putting effort into doing it, and that's why it's definitely important to enjoy the walking and not just the destination. Because you'll hear a lot of people go, oh yeah, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, I want to be rich off trading, but they don't do any actions towards that. It's just an attractive destination, and they'll just say all this shit to like give themselves false dopamine, like, oh, I can't wait to never work a 9 to 5. Like, motherfucker, you've never worked that in your life. Why are you saying how bad of a thing it is if you've never even tried it in your life like that? And you're gonna fucking end up there anyway, because you're not even putting effort in towards this thing of trading. So, bit of a side rant. I don't even know if this makes sense what I'm trying to say, but look, if you're one of those people who just keep talking about how you want to make it with trading and you want the end success, but you don't stay accountable to that, you've done minutes of back testing in your lifetime, if you can't even turn up to the session you're going to trade, if you can't even turn up to New York session for 1 hour out of your day consistently, you're fucked. If you can't even spend, like, these motherfuckers, first off, a lot of them haven't even placed a trade, and a lot of them won't even take the time to journal for 5 minutes after their trade. So, to me, it's super obvious, even though I haven't made it. I could say, oh, it's super obvious to me who's going to make it and who's not going to make it, but for all I know, I might not make it. But to me, it's super obvious who's going to even get to the point I'm at, where they pass a funded, they pass an eval, and they make a little bit of profit on their account. To me, a lot of people, and the knowledge I've accumulated, I'm not saying that as in I've got tons of knowledge, but a lot of people won't even get to my point, and it's super obvious who will not get to my point and who will. And I'll tell you what, there's like simple actions you can take. If you look at my videos and you want to get to my point, and you look at my videos and you think, oh, I feel like that's the kind of progress I want to make. He's not profitable, but he's You can tell I'm on track, let's say. Like, it's actually super fucking easy. And like I said, I haven't made it in trading, but it's so fucking, like, the difference between me being able to tell someone who's on their first month whether they're going to be able to get to my point or not, it's literally the difference of, do they spend 10 minutes journaling? Do I see them on fucking Discord playing video games for 10 hours a fucking day? Like, it's actually not that hard just to do the right things a little bit of the time. Like, are they trying to consume the right content to learn the information? So, I guess the point of the rant is, if you're in, this is really just applying to people in their first months of trading or looking to get into trading. It really isn't difficult to just get ahead of 90% of people straight off the bat. Like, it really isn't easy if you truly understood how lazy so many people who say, and you'll think they're traders because they'll say they're traders, but it's insane how lazy the 90% are. So that's motivation if you like want to get into trading. It's pretty easy to get ahead of a lot of people. Obviously, I'm not saying it's easy to get the profitability, because if it was easy to get the profitability, I would be profitable right now. But my point is, it's really easy to just get ahead of everyone else. So don't be scared into not trying trading, basically. Anyway, I'm going to go on a walk with my dog. I was meant to back test earlier, but to be fair, my hay fever has given me 5 hours of sleep for 2 nights in a row. So I just slept in for like 12. I had like 12 hours of sleep tonight because, fuck, bro, this hay fever. It woke me up 3 times again tonight, but doesn't mean we're not going to get the back testing done at another point in the day. Just means it's going to be delayed. So yeah, I'm going to go on a walk, and then it will probably be time for pre-market analysis by then. So let's do that. What is up, everybody? It is time for pre-market analysis. So as usual, I'm going to do this and then we'll hop on stream and see if we take any trades. I've literally looked at the charts for about a minute total today. So this is my first look at the charts. So let's see what we see. So we're on ES right now. ES daily bias is, it could be bullish, but we have nothing here to indicate that it would come off of to continue higher. So I could definitely see a draw to Thursday's high. I'm going to say bullish on the freaking daily on a 4-hour. We've just taken out Asia highs, and I guess London highs will be there, which we'll see in a minute on the 1-hour. But there's not really any denying this is pretty bullish, except for the fact we have taken out some key highs, just right there. But ultimately, London highs have already been taken out, right? So I just can't really see any reason to go long as of right now, or I just can't. I could see a reason to short down there, and if we can come down to London lows, then we could start taking longs. But right now, it looks like I'm going to be shorting into London lows. But in the next 40 minutes, if we've already hit London lows, which is very possible, then I'll look for longs upwards. Now, we'll see if NQ is any different. We'll start on the daily on NQ. So daily is basically the same. We've had that inversion. Looks to be continuing up. However, here we have an SMT divergence. Ooh, okay. SMT, bang. SMT, bang. Okay, shorts could be nice. Shorts could be nice. And then, as you can see on the 1-hour, this is literally the only thing I looked at, by the way, for the minute I said I was on the charts. We've already taken out London highs. I think it's looking really good for shorts, to be honest, especially with that 4-hour SMT. So it could change. It just depends what the market presents us with. I'm going to go on live and we'll see if we take anything. What's up, guys? So this is a time lapse of the stream. Spoiler alert, no trades had been taken, so that is exactly why. That's exactly why there's no like clips of the stream, because it's just a bit boring. But if you haven't already, like and subscribe. We're almost on 1,000 subscribers, and if you want some free resources or you just want a community to trade with, join the Discord link in description. But yeah, it was kind of choppy price action. We ended up, as you can see, delivering to the London lows, which I wanted to short, but that was happening before the macro. And then, you know, we just ended up chopping for about 2 hours, or not 2 hours, we ended up chopping for about an hour and a half after that. So, no trade from me, stayed patient, and there's always another day tomorrow. But we'll get into the full post-market analysis right now. So, stream has been wrapped up. We're going to do post-market analysis. Let's get into it. So, we'll just kind of stay on the 1 hour, as that's really what was determining the bias during the session. So, obviously, pre-market, I said I was bearish, right? And from what I remember, I specifically said I'm bearish, but if we end up taking London lows before the macro, which is 9:30, let me just boop, then I will be willing to take longs. Behold, we actually did take out London lows during the macro. Before the macro, so I ended up changing my bias. But shorts were really nice. My prediction that I wanted to trade to London low, but I didn't get the chance because we already played it down to it, as I said before the macro. So macro starts 9:50, and right now I'm looking for longs. So we get the inversion here at 10 o'clock, but here you can see we get the retrace into the fair value gap. Now, I think some people traded this retrace, but I was waiting for rejection out of this fair value gap. We never got rejection. We ended up inversing it. Now, I needed a close above here. We did end up closing above this high here. But, again, the next fair value gap was down here. We came into it, but no rejection. We just kept heading down. So after this candle formed at 11 o'clock, by 11:05, I just came off the charts because I was like, there's no setup. And if I kept looking for longs, I would have just... I mean, we ended up coming down to the new day opening gap. So, ultimately, I know a lot of people took shorts. I also know a lot of people got stopped out during this chop. I stayed true to my long bias because I had no reason to short, but I also had no reason to long. I think a lot of people got stopped out during this chop, and to me, I don't know how people are catching this leg without just gambling and trade, and like, why are you trading this and not this? I don't understand that, to be honest, and I'm glad I didn't trade. I didn't win, I didn't lose, but I followed my strategy, and motherfuckers can sit there and tell me I'm doing the wrong thing, but I followed my strategy, so that's all that matters. If I were to take in a short and just not give it, let's just say this, if I were to have been on the 4 hour and been looking at a 4 hour kind of shit, which is kind of valid, to be honest. Looking at the 4 hour, we have a liquidity sweep, and then expecting, after that liquidity sweep, expecting a drawdown to here, which ended up happening. Now, if I was using just ignoring the fact that we took London lows, and if I were to trade, this is what I would have traded. I would have traded from the macro, so 950, right? We came into this fair value gap, okay, and I would have seen, okay, we've come into that fair value gap, macro started, now I just need the 1 minute time frame to be bearish. What do we get? Inverse that. This is what I would have taken if I traded shorts. And look at that. If I traded shorts, don't tell me, yeah, but I took a win. If I traded shorts, which I didn't, this shit would have happened, which is why I didn't look for shorts. So, don't try to tell me what to motherfucking do, as some people like to. I just sat at the sidelines like I should have. I know I did the right thing in this situation. Fair play if you took shorts. They just weren't valid for me. So, hay fever, it's peak, bro. We will be trading tomorrow. We're trading the rest of the week. Not really much more to say. Happy with my patience, W patience today. The old me would have definitely just started spamming trades. But yeah, I'm getting really snotty. I'm going to go to the gym. And see you guys tomorrow.